Hi viewers, and welcome to this week's racing-based preview of Underwood Stakes Day. We've got two Group 1 races coming from Caulfield, and to join me, as usual, I've got Rick Chapman on the other line. So Rick, you excited for a fantastic day of Group 1 racing?
I'm excited. I'm very excited, man. I woke up excited this morning to the news that Black Caviar had a second baby foal. This one a son to Sebring. That started my day, put a spring in my stride, and now we head towards punting at Caulfield.
Yeah, it looks like a cracking day, as well as the two Group 1s. We've got a Group 2 and Group 3 as well. That should attract some interest there, Rick.
Yeah, I think there's money to be won, actually.
Yep, so do I. So let's get down to winning some money for some viewers, and we'll start with the big one of the day, the Underwood Stakes. Have you got something there picked for us?
I did. I wrote my mapping story after studying it extensively, and I think it'll be a very close finish. I think the cleaner will go hard, which will set up the back markers. Faulkner will be about 2 lengths behind them throughout, and Dandino will flash down the outside. I think it's a terrific race. I think there'll be half a length between three of them on the line, and Faulkner gets the bob in to just beat fast finishing Dandino with the cleaner an impressive 3rd inches away.
Yeah, Faulkner, he won the Mackay, but geez, he had a good run. Ollie pulled out a perler, which got him over the line, and Dandino is still waiting to get out. He could improve out of sight, I think, Rick. But I'm leaning towards the Dardo form in this, Rick. I looked at the Mackay form, and it rates as one of the slowest in the last 10 years. So I'm a bit sceptical there, where the Dardo rates among the top 2 in the last 20 years. So I'm going to stick to that Dardo form. I'm going to stick with the cleaner. He's got a bit of a hoodoo about him at Caulfield, but going back watching his replays, he just doesn't seem to have the same kick off the corner at Caulfield than what he does at the Valley. But first up this campaign, he showed a lot better acceleration, and I think he's just come up better this time. And if he can kick like he did last time, he's going to give Faulkner and co something to catch.
Well, I couldn't agree more. I think he is back better. You just look at him; he looks like a better specimen this time up, and that was borne out in the mapping story too. He just goes straight to the front, uncontested, and Caro just controls the pace. But he's up against a genuine Group 1 horse who's beaten him every time they've met. So in Faulkner and Dandino, as you pointed out, as I saw as well, as anybody with eyes saw, was just certainty, tragedy beating last start. So if he can flash home at 40 to 1 tomorrow on Saturday, then that trifecta will pay handsomely.
Yeah, I couldn't believe the odds the bookies put up about Dandino. I thought he would have been a lot shorter. Everyone, like you said, everyone would have saw that run. He just couldn't get out. So he had a lot there to offer. And if he gets a clear run in the straight, he runs okay at Caulfield. So he's a good one at odds. But so you're with Faulkner. I'm going to go with the cleaner, and hopefully one of us has some luck there, Rick.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. The other one's a harder race, though.
Oh, it's much tougher. This Rupert Clarke. I think pull a number out of a hat, hope for the best, Rick. But after doing the form, I'm confident I've got one that'll be thereabouts. But you're going to need luck in running and a few things to go your way to be winning this, I think.
Yeah, I think the way the race is situated, and with the barrier draws playing into it rather ostensibly, then everything's going to be thereabouts. I think it'll be 3 lengths from first to last. I will have a bet only because it's a Group 1 race and because I backed this mare twice this campaign. Cosmic Endeavour, I think she's been slaughtered both times by Kieran McAvoy. I see he's got the right again. However, 3 times a charm. He can't possibly do the wrong thing this time. And I think even though she's got to carry a mare's weight-carrying record to win it, I think she can win it. I've got a healthy respect for Disposition and Stratum Star. I would have tipped Stratum Star if he'd drawn better, but he's drawn out in the car park. And Lucky Hustler was a fantastic run first up. So I think somewhere in there you'll find the winner. But I'll have a little bit on Cosmic Endeavour, and she'll probably be about 9 to 1, so that'll do me.
Yeah, I'm a bit wary with weights with this one, Rick. Last 30 years, only 4 horses have won the race carrying more than 55.5 kilos. So when I was doing the form, I just knocked out those top few that were carrying more, and I thought I'll go with the odds here and look for something down in the weights. I'm leaning towards Ninth Legion. If he comes across from Sydney, he's a dual acceptor, so
He's not running. He's not running. He's running in Sydney.
He's going to run in Sydney now?
He's definitely going to run in Sydney, and he'll win in Sydney. He's been sensationally supported, and the track's going to be quite wet, and he's running in Sydney.
Okay, yeah. Well, second up, last campaign he finished second to contributor, so it looks like pretty good second up form. So, okay, I'll back him in Sydney, and I did have a backup. I'll be going for Under the Louvre then, Rick. Flew home last start. I think gets the gun run from the barrier, where a few of my other top picks are drawn a bit wide and just might need a bit more luck. So with absolutely no confidence, I'll be going Under the Louvre. But like you said, being a Group 1, you can't help but have a punt on it.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, there's some tremendously strong horses in the race with lots of form. It's just, it is a really good spectacle. It's a shame it's wasted at Caulfield, to be honest. But anyway, be that as it may.
Okay, two other ones on the day, Rick. We've got two preludes, the 1,000 Guineas and the Caulfield Guineas preludes. Have you put some work into those?
I have, and I found one at big odds in the Colts race. I thought this was, we talked about Dandino's unlucky run last start. This thing of Michael Moroney's right down the bottom will be 40-1 called Tulsa. It should have won by as far as you could kick your hat last start. And that was the race that Bonorum won. And Bonorum did a fantastic job, I must confess, because he sat 3 wide throughout and managed to get the prize. This is a great race. There's going to be a lot of speed on it. Gay's horse, Dark Steel, is very fast. He'll go forward. The other Sydney horse, Spieth, has got talent too. We know Bonorum will be close handy. Metallic Crown won twice. His last 2 leading all the way. Odyssey Moon's ready to win. Ready to victory. He's outstanding. It's a beauty, but the way this horse Tulsa got to the post last start, he'll do me at big odds, and I'll be on him each way. And hope that a couple of these do go really hard and set up a very cracking pace, so it's a fair run race.
Yeah, I missed Tulsa, Rick. I haven't seen the replay, so I'll go back and have a look after this. But I'm going to stick with Ready for Victory in this one. He's been unlucky both times this campaign, and I think there's a bit of a query maybe stepping up to 14. He looks like he'll get the trip, and he's bred to, but his only try at the distance, he failed miserably, but there were excuses. So I'll stick with the obvious choice. I've got a couple of roughies I have something each way on. The one from the Lindsay Park stable, Extra Choice. Very impressive last start. It was a lot weaker race, but I think he can step up. And you've got to respect anything Murray Baker brings across from New Zealand. So he's brought that Dow Cielo over. Like I said, you just got to respect it. And at good odds, I think one's at 18, the other's at 26. I'll have something small each way on those as well.
Well, that's the beauty of that race. Everything is going to be a price. Even the favourites are going to be a decent price. That's probably going to be 7-2 the field, to be honest. And there's some lightly raced horses there that'll be astronomical prices. So I think we can. If you find it, you're gonna make money. You're gonna make some good money Saturday.
Yeah, that's right. It's a tough one, but we'll head somewhere. And what about the girls' version, Rick? The 1,000 Guineas Prelude. How do you see that one playing out?
Look, the barriers play a huge role here. If Pasadena Girls drawn 3 and Stay With Me is drawn 11. Now, if they're drawn those marbles differently, if the other one had drawn, if you reverse the marbles, Stay With Me is certainly, I think she's brilliant. Pasadena Girls outstanding. She's already a Group 1 winner. They do look the 2 best, but don't doubt Marley's very strong too, and he'll get to the line very powerfully. I just don't know if Dwayne Dunn, who's riding particularly well lately, can get in on Stay With Me. I'd have to favour her, but you don't want to be going into a race betting when, if he gets in. Whereas we know that Vlad Juric's going to get a great position with Pasadena Girl. And then again, you've got to say to yourself, well, if she gets out. Interesting race. I'm not going to bet with a lot of confidence because it's an interesting race, but I'll go with Stay With Me just because I think she's the best horse to beat Pasadena Girl, and don't doubt Marley will be flashing home late. Yeah,
well, they do look at the top 2, don't they, Rick? But I see it the other way. I think Pasadena Girl has Stay With Me covered. She didn't last start at the Valley, but Stay With Me had race fitness on her side, and when you look, they both had a similar run. They made their moves together. Stay With Me didn't pull away from Pasadena Girl, around the corner or in that short Moonee Valley straight. I think second up, she improved big time last campaign, and she can do that again. And interestingly, she hasn't raced at Caulfield before. So we know Moody trains at Caulfield, and his horses just seem to grow a leg there. So I think getting to her home track for the first time, we might see her just improve that bit more. And like I said, second up last campaign, she ran a quicker sectional than what Brazen Bow did in the Newmarket Handicap. For a 2-year-old to do that, it was sensational work. And she was unlucky too. She was dodging and weaving and finally got to the outside and nailed them on the line. But the run was one of the biggest I've seen, especially from a 2-year-old. And if she can reproduce that, she just wins on Saturday.
Yeah, well, there you go. I don't doubt that she's extraordinary. We saw her in Sydney and she did very well. Speaking of Sydney, I'm looking out my window at the beach right now and it is pouring rain. So I think we'll have a heavy track on Saturday up here. Yeah,
so the norm for Sydney racing anyway.
Yeah, sadly. Speaking of Sydney, press statement looks across the line. If you get $1.60, that's value. You'll win for fun. But the rest of the meets are a bit tough. As I mentioned earlier, Ninth Legion's been heavily supported to win his race. There's an interesting runner in the Colin Stephen quality. It's talking to Peter Moody. It's restricted class Mary's got Emily Starr. Now, she meets these horses horribly at the under the weights condition, but gee, she's good. She grows a leg when it's wet too. So she might be worth having a bet on, the bottom horse in that Colin Stephen quality.
So that's your best from outside the majors, is it, Rick?
Yeah, you'd have to look at the $400,000 races up here. The Golden Pendant, well, the 2 greys will fight that out, Catkins and Arabian Gold, as they did last year.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm tipping outside of those, actually, Rick. I'm going for a bit of value there.
Who could you possibly tip to beat them?
Slightly Sweet's the one I'm leaning towards, Rick. The way she finished off last time, she was taking ground off of Catkins. And second up, she improves 1,400. She's got a great strike rate. There's no value taking Catkins. So I might as well have a smallish wager and look for some value.
She might be odds against Catkins. You never know, because the track will be heavy and there'll be a lot of money for Arabian Gold. And 2 Blue's going to set a solid pace and might take some catching too. So she might be value Catkins, but she's come back better than last time. Oh, my goodness, she's 2 lengths better than last time.
Yeah, she was impressive last time, Rick. But she was just as impressive first up last campaign when she lost in this race too. So, yeah, like I said, I'm just going for value. I think Catkins is definitely the one to beat. Arabian Gold's right in it, especially if it's wet, but Slightly Sweet's one on a heavy as well at our only start. So I'll have something there at big odds, $14, I think.
The Gloaming Stakes is always a good race as we lead into derbies and things. And Hawkspur's little brother, Devil Hawk's in it, and he'll grow a leg because it's wet. He's pretty smart, this horse, Devil Hawk. I think he'll get to the line very powerfully. And
yeah, he was really good last start. I couldn't believe he come up at $7.50.
He's going to have a good day, Chris Waller. I know it's probably easy to say because he always does, but he's got some well-placed horses.
Yeah, that's right. When doesn't he have a good day?
Exactly. Anyway, there's money to be made.
Yes, plenty of it, and hopefully we can get plenty on Saturday, Rick, and hopefully we've steered the punters into a few winners. Like last week, I think I tipped 9 horses last week, Rick, on bettingpro.com.au. 3 winners, 5 seconds and a third. It's one of those days you just wish you had a 9-leg all up on, and you would have cleaned up. But Murphy's Law says as soon as you do, one of them will let you down. But hopefully, plenty of luck coming this week.
It's got to, because these close calls have got to come to an end, and we've got to start converting. I had a quaddy yesterday, 3 winners and second, and one of the legs paid $19. So you sit back and you lament what might have been. But we look forward to Saturday and the money, because remember, you get disappointments, but punting is easy in the end of the day.
Incidentally, about that quaddy, Rick, if we had combined our numbers like we normally do on a Wednesday, I had the leg that you missed out on, so we would have had it.
There you go.
Yeah.
I didn't even think to do that.
Yep.
Anyway, we should.
Until next week, mate. All right, best of luck, viewers.
keep cheering, keep punting, and all the best to everybody. Bye.